Hi, my name is Kim Simmons. I'm CEO and founder of Law 365. I really wanted to discuss today about failure to pay. At the moment, COVID-19, there are lots of suppliers of IT services being not paid in time, and they are struggling to find out and understand what are their contractual rights. I'm hoping today I can set those out for you. Typically in contracts, you'll have a payment section. In that payment section, you will identify when you shall be paid upon the date of the invoice or the receipt of invoice. Typically, that's 30 days. You will also typically find that you have an interest payment. So in the event that the customer doesn't pay you in time, you should and you can invoke an interest payment there. So, do remember that you have that right. And typically that is accepted by the customer. That doesn't really do anything for you though, does it? In terms of actually getting paid. It's sort of just chasing your tail. So what is it that you can also do that has a bit more of a punch in your contracts? One of the things that I recommend my clients build into their contracts is the right for them to terminate or suspend the services. Now that really is going to get the attention of the customer. Why? Because you're a provider of IT services, especially if you're a managed services provider, because your ability to switch off something that the business really essentially needs is quite a big eye opener for the customer, and they're not going to want to mess around the supplier if they've got that power. You have got to be careful with a clause like that, because ultimately if you do switch something off without due notification and without due process, you essentially could have issues coming back to you with the loss that that particular customer's business might have suffered. There are also other ways of identifying that loss, but this is just something to really bear in mind, okay? So let's go back to this termination suspension right. What you can typically do is that after the payment notice is overdue, you can give them a certain amount of time, let's say 10 to 15 days thereafter, where they have that grace period to pay for any outstanding bills. And then after that, you have the right to turn it off. What I recommend is during that 10 to 15 day period, make sure that you're in constant communication with the other side's accountants and accounts team to make sure that they understand that this is what's going to happen if they don't keep paying. If you give them ample notice and you keep in communication with them, whether or not they communicate back to you, you are always allowing them to be put on notice as what's about to happen. So switching the services should not be a surprise to them if 15 days later they can't. And especially if they haven't come back to you and explained why they can't pay, if they're just ignoring you. This has really come up so many times in the last few months because of COVID-19. So I do urge you to think about putting that in your contracts before you sign up. It will help you